Welcome back to Decoding Autism Now. I'm Dr. Elise Martin. Throughout this series, we've explored digestion, peptides, hormones, signaling molecules, and behavior. We've looked at secretin, motilin, oxytocin, VIP, methylation, calcium signaling, and gut-brain communication. And at some point, a quiet realization begins to form. Autism is not a collection of unrelated problems. It is not a failure of effort. And it is not the absence of something that can simply be added back. Autism is a systems-level signaling disorder. And today, we're going to step back far enough to finally see the full pattern. This episode is not about introducing new pathways. It's about connecting the ones you already understand into a single, coherent map. In traditional medicine, we're trained to think linearly. A symptom appears. We search for a cause. We apply a fix. But biology doesn't work that way. The human body is a complex adaptive system. It operates through feedback loops, timing signals, and interconnected pathways. In a system like this, no single pathway acts alone. Digestion affects immune signaling. Immune signaling affects hormones. Hormones affect neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters affect behavior. Behavior feeds back into stress, sleep, and digestion. When one node in the system slows down, the entire network compensates. And over time, compensation becomes dysfunction. This is why autism can look so different from one individual to another, yet still follow remarkably similar internal patterns. When we examine autism through a systems biology lens, several non-negotiable control nodes emerge. These are not symptoms, they are regulatory hubs. First, pH and digestive timing. Without proper acid cycling, enzymes don't activate, peptides aren't broken down, and hormonal signaling never begins. Second, peptide digestion and clearance. When gluten and casein peptides are not fully broken down, they don't simply pass through the body. They bind receptors. They alter immune signaling. They interfere with neurotransmitter balance. Third, CD26 and adenosine regulation. This is a quiet but critical junction where digestion, immunity, and methylation intersect. Fourth, adenylyl cyclase and CAMP signaling. This pathway keeps hormonal and neurotransmitter signals moving forward inside the cell. Fifth, calcium signaling. Calcium pulses are the timing signals of life. Without them, cells become metabolically flat. And finally, we reach somatostatin. It is the body's master braking system. Somatostatin does not act locally. It suppresses metabolic activity across several systems. When this brake stays engaged, every system downstream fully turns off. One of the most important reframes in autism is this. The problem is rarely absolute deficiency. It is almost always timing failure. Hormones are present, but released at the wrong moment. Neurotransmitters exist, but without proper sequencing. Enzymes are available, but never fully activated. This explains a pattern many families recognize. Secretin worked once, L-DOPA helped briefly. Oxytocin improved connection, temporarily. These interventions didn't fail because they were wrong. They failed because they were out of rhythm with the rest of the system. Biology is not sustained by constant stimulation. It is sustained by pulses. When we flatten signals that are meant to oscillate, the system adapts by shutting down. In one of our earlier videos, I mentioned the unintended finding. An injection of secretin was being used for medical diagnostic purposes. The injection allowed a small boy to shed most autistic symptoms for a few hours. This was a real-life example of one hormone working, but then failing, because other hormones were still being suppressed by somatostatin. This is the body's master braking system, not allowing the body's pathways to function in harmony. Now let's connect this to real life. When digestion stalls, protein peptides remain intact. These peptides behave like opioids in the nervous system. The brain responds by increasing CCK, a hormone designed to counter opioid effects. But CCK is made from the same amino acids needed to produce dopamine and serotonin, so the system is forced to choose: manage the opioid load or build neurotransmitters. It cannot do both. Over time, dopamine signaling weakens, serotonin regulation destabilizes, sleep becomes fragmented, anxiety rises. What emerges looks behavioral, but it is not. Stimming becomes a form of nervous system regulation. Rigidity becomes a way to reduce metabolic demand. Sensory overload reflects poor signal filtering, not poor tolerance. These are adaptive responses to internal biochemical pressure. This is why single interventions so often disappoint. Methylation support without clearing adenosine increases pressure. Neurotransmitters without digestion create imbalance. Anti-inflammatories without restoring signaling offer only temporary relief. And supplements that worked last year suddenly stop working. Nothing is broken. The system has simply shifted. In systems biology, one rule matters more than any other. Order matters. If you intervene downstream before upstream signals are restored, the system resists. So what does real repair look like? Not adding more inputs, but re-establishing sequence. First, restore pH rhythm. This activates pepsin and initiates digestion. Second, clear peptide load. This relieves opioid signaling and immune interference. Third, unblock CD26 and adenosine metabolism. Now methylation can proceed without pressure. Fourth, release the somatostatin brake. Hormones begin to pulse again. Fifth, restart adenylyl cyclase and camp flow. Signals move forward inside the cell. Sixth, normalize calcium oscillations. Cells regain metabolic timing. Only then do neurotransmitters stabilize, not because they were forced, but because the system can finally support them. This is not correction. It is re-entrainment. This model does not promise a cure. It offers something more honest and more powerful. Leverage. Progress often comes in waves. Improvement may reveal deeper layers. Regression does not mean failure. It means the system is still adjusting. When we stop fighting the body and start restoring its rhythm, change becomes possible. Not overnight, but sustainably. Thank you for joining me for this chapter of Decoding Autism Now. Medical disclaimer. This content and other content on this channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health or treatment regimen. Sometimes the most profound healing begins not by adding something new, but by allowing the body to remember its rhythm.